Go.
What is the world's most popular sport? Obviously, soccer. What is the USA's most popular sport? Roughly by attendance, NFL and baseball are the most popular as far as grossing dollars and attendance. It's definitely, though, not soccer. My name is Victor Sandoval, and what we're going to do today is just go over a little bit of the history of soccer, also how it's done in the world and how popular it is in the world, how the MLS, the Major League Soccer here in the United States, is done, where they are headed, and basically also just go through a small tour of the history of soccer. So roughly soccer started in about 1388 BC by the Greeks and Romans. Also there is some trail of thought or some kind of lineage also to China in 200 BC. In 1800s there was a set rules by the King of England at the time, who was King George III. They began to process a set of rules and also regulate how the game was played. Now currently in the world there are 14 major leagues that play soccer and that generate a good value or a good amount of revenue. Also there are united competitions as far as the world. Obviously the Olympics has housed soccer since 1908, and also the World Cup is played every 4 years, and that started in 1930. So it is the biggest sport as far as no other sport has that kind of, beyond the Olympics, has that kind of realm of people coming together to watch a sport. So we're going to focus on the Euro Premier League since it is one of the most major leagues. As far as popularity, they are the number 2 in attendance-wise league in soccer. They roughly hold about 36,000 per year per stadium, and that's 20 teams. So they generate a lot of attendance. Also, as far as grossing dollars and TV contracts, they are 4th in the entire world, only to the NFL, to Major League Baseball, NHL, and the NBA. They make $1.4 billion of revenue a year. Let's see. And their salaries, as far as their salaries go, they don't have any type of salary cap that we normally would see here in the United States in athletics here in the United States. They're kind of free to do whatever they'd like as far as that goes. So you can have players that are paid up to $29 million per year, or a player next to the extra player that's making $11,000 a year. So it fluctuates. They don't have any real rules on salaries. Also, they don't really post salaries like we do here in the United States. We're so interested in how much money these people are making. They are not so much the same. It was very difficult to pull up anything on salaries, but roughly a European soccer player in the Premier League makes about $600,000 a year. So they do get paid pretty well. Let's see. The top 10, as far as weekly goes, gets paid $250,000 a week. So there definitely is a lot of players making a lot of money. The average per team is $100 million. In comparison to the Major League Baseball, which houses about the same amount of players per roster, about 25 on a roster, they pay out, the Major League Baseball pays out about $88 million per year to their players. So they're definitely above Major League Baseball as far as salary goes. Also, their highest team, Chelsea, England, paid out last year $225 million. Last year the Yankees paid only $218,000 for their overall payroll. And the league has only been started since 1992, so they have done it in a short 17 years worth of time. Now, the MLS here in the United States has not fared so well, although they are rising. They roughly started about the same time that the the England Premier League started, which was in 1993. They had started it with 10 teams. Now they've expanded to 15. They have lost some teams as they went through, kind of trying to see what market or what area actually would make the most money. Now they are now expanding it also to a little bit of Canada, so in order to make a little bit more money. So you should see some expansion in the MLS too within Canada soon. Roughly, they get hit pretty hard compared to the English Premier League. As far as overall revenue, they just generate about $30 million, and they are still in debt, $350 million overall since they have begun. The league minimum, obviously they do hold a salary cap just like all other U.S. sports, the league minimum being $20,000 and the league maximum being $2.3 million per team. So they definitely restrict on how much they can pay players, which keeps a lot of the big-time players coming to the United States. Now recently they have kind of lifted that, and they've opened it up and allowed them to sign bigger and better players. Just last year, in order to try to generate a little bit more seating and population as far as people coming to the games and buying the jerseys, they added 4 major players from outside of the United States, and they allowed the teams to definitely break that salary cap and not have a penalty. Obviously, David Beckham being one of the main ones that did come to try to generate revenue into the MLS, and it definitely did work for the team who went to the Galaxy. They saw an increase of their attendance go up from 20,000 to 33,000 just in 1 year. So they are working to make it a more popular sport. They don't do well. They don't do bad currently at all, though. They are 15,000 in average attendance, which puts them at number 20 as far as overall the world goes and in sports leagues. And they are 8th in just soccer leagues. So, I mean, they're right there in the middle. A lot better than I thought they were going to be doing. And let's see. So currently, right now, the average team, though, does only pay $107,000 per player. So they definitely are hurting as far as if you compare that to any other American sport where you're having baseball, football, where they're all roughly $100 million a year in salary. So, but we should still see that start generating a little bit more popularity with more players coming in and expansion to Canada. I think you'll see a lot more Canadian fans get into the sport also. So, obviously today in conclusion, we went over a little bit about the history of soccer, how big of a market is in Europe and overseas, and where the MLS and United States soccer is moving to here in the future. So with that, I just open it up to any questions.